This Memorial Day weekend, do not forget why every American needs to hold that day sacred by honoring our fallen heroes and also remembering that every service member on the front lines risks their life for your freedom. Heroes like these.
In spring 2004, I was stationed at Baghdad International Airport. I was flying the MH-53.
On the night of April 12th, the most important mission that night was to fly to a location south of Baghdad to extract a Special Forces Sergeant Major who had been killed earlier that day, bring him back so he could be sent home to his family.
When we took off for the mission that night, the threat level was very high. Fallujah was a hot spot at that time, so we knew we could run into some trouble.
I'm scanning out the left window, and the next thing I know is I hear this big thud.
There was a flash of light, and everything went dark.
My night vision goggles had been thrown off my head, along with my helmet, and my eyesight was badly damaged.
The insurgents ambushed us with a rocket-propelled grenade, and it was a direct hit to our aircraft.
It sent my aircraft 90 degrees nose up. So essentially the nose was straight up and my tail was straight down.
I could look back and look out the tail of the aircraft and see the ground, and that's not a good thing.
As I started to come to, it was excruciating pain. There were things hitting me in the face. There was wind that, it's a closed cockpit, there's not supposed to be wind.
I heard some moaning in the front of the aircraft, and I looked forward to see what it was, and it was Mac, and I couldn't exactly tell what happened to him, but I could see that there was a gaping hole in the front of the aircraft.
I remember thinking, my God, I survived, and I still have to die. And so I cinched up my seatbelt, and I braced for hitting the ground.
Me and Captain Edwards were the only two that could speak to each other, and he's saying that we need to get this thing on the ground as soon as possible because I don't know how much longer it's going to fly.
And then all of a sudden, I just felt it. And it was like, I don't know who's flying this, but we're about to land. This feels right. And I just remember hitting the ground, and we were all in one piece.
The insurgents were about a mile away, which is not very far because they all had vehicles.
They were coming. The enemy was closing in, and we had to get the heck out of there.
When we found out our sister ship had landed about 100 yards away, we were very relieved. We knew we had an escape route now.
The next thing I heard was, hey, get him out. So I was grabbed and pulled by another guy.
And I remember Rob getting on board the helicopter beside me and he's telling me it's going to be all right. Telling me to stay awake. Telling me that he didn't want to lose me.
I told him to squeeze my hand just to make sure that he was okay. And he did. He squeezed my hand and let me know he was still alive and he was all right. The emotion is knowing that you could have not come home. You could have left your family alone, your friends.
The chances of us surviving that night were extremely slim.
And yet all 6 of us are still here today. They'll always have a special place in my heart because that's why I'm here.
We haven't gotten together since, I guess, that night.
I look forward to someday seeing those guys again.
Those 5 guys, what do you tell your heroes other than I love them and I could not be more proud of the work that they do every day.
Please welcome Major Thomas Lessman. So, Major, what is it like retelling and reliving that story?
Simply, I really don't. So I approach every life just for that day, and I really don't talk about it ever unless I'm asked.
Wow.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
Now, after being deployed 6 times. You became a member of the Air Force Reserve and now teach pilots to become instructor pilots. But serving has been difficult for you and your family. Can you tell us about that?
Of course. It's not just you that serves. It's really your family that serves. And that goes for every single member. So it's very easy for us to deploy. But what we leave behind is people that are serving alongside us, even though we're geographically separated. It's an emotional bond.
And you were the pilot the night you and your crew went down, and say the men who sat beside you in that helicopter are your heroes.
Of course.
Why?
Yeah, they're my heroes because without those guys, without our teamwork, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. Well, and I was so surprised to hear that due to your different deployments, you haven't seen that crew since that night, so many years ago. Really? But we thought it was time for you to see them. So please welcome retired Master Sergeant Christian McKenzie. Please welcome retired Senior Master Sergeant Randy Kenzie. And please welcome retired Senior Master Sergeant Robert Colanino. So, 2 other crew members couldn't be here today because they are currently serving overseas, but they send their best wishes to all of you.
Yeah.
They send their best wishes.
How does it feel seeing these guys after 13 years?
It's kind of a chapter that's closing. It'll never be closed, but it feels great.
Yeah. Mac, am I getting it right?
Yes.
Mac,
Yes.
you suffered some terrible injuries, and say it was these guys who saved your life. How are you a changed man from that night?
I mean, it starts right from that day. I mean, you know, you make a decision every morning. You know, it says, hey, am I going to sit here and worry about it, or am I going to get up and do something? You know, and I get to get up, I get to hug my kids, I get to hug my wife, and I get to go out every day and do something that I may have never had the chance to do. And so it's been an inspiration every day.
And Randy, what does this brotherhood mean to you?
Oh man, brotherhood, it goes deep for people that serve, that goes into the environment that we go into, knowing that you can look to your left, look to your right, and they got your back. I mean, there's nothing else like it. It's the closest thing to family you're ever going to have.
And Rob, you say that you and your fellow airmen never served for the accolades, and there's a motto you and the others live by. What is that?
Quiet professionals.
Quiet professionals.
Serve in silence.
Well, we are not done with you yet. We have a few more surprises when we come back.